What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Retro Sentai Wrap-Up, the show here on the Illuminerdi, where we discuss some of the older seasons of Super Sentai. We started with Kyōryū Sentai Jetman, and now we're moving forward into Kyōryū Sentai Zyuranger. I am one of your hosts, Bryce West, a writer and editor for the Illuminerdi.com, and this is our other host for today.
Hey everybody, it's Ian back here for some more episodes of Zyuranger, and these ones were actually pretty decent.
For Zyuranger standards.
For Zyuranger standards, yes.
Yeah, so if anybody in the chat is here right now, let us know if we're having any audio issues. We've been having some audio problems here throughout the past couple of shows, so I'm kind of hoping things are a little better this week.
Please get better. Please get better.
I see both of us moving whenever we talk, so that should mean that it's good. But
right.
hopefully all is good there, and there's no like echoing or anything like that. But yeah, we're going to be talking about episodes 23 through 27. So Ian, do you want to start us off?
Yes, starting off with episode 23, the knuckleball of infatuation. Now, I am a huge baseball fan, so as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh man, it's going to be baseball centric. It's going to be awesome. It is. No, I mean, a little bit, but not like a heavily focused baseball episode. That was kind of disappointing. But
it was more, what was this, the dodgeball?
This was the dodgeball.
Yeah.
This was more of sports in general.
Gotcha, yeah.
So, no. That's the next one. I was thinking it as well, but no. This is the synopsis is a boy's obsession to confess his love to a girl is complicated when Bandora releases a Dora Monster that makes children fall in love at first sight.
As if I literally didn't watch this episode last night.
I watched it today, and I was like,
and still couldn't remember.
Well, there's 5 episodes.
Yeah, I know.
I was telling him earlier before the show, like, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna be missing because we've watched 5 episodes. So a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, but we gotta get the Zyuranger, right? That's the goal.
Zyuranger. Here we go. So
that's the goal. Yeah, I mean, so for those of you who don't know, I mean, who or maybe I guess if you're new to the show, we haven't really been enjoying Zyuranger that much. So we're gonna be covering more episodes, so we can kind of get through Zyuranger as much as possible, so then we can get to Zyuranger. Which is a show I think all of us actually want to cover.
Yes.
And then I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe kind of skipping around, maybe doing other random seasons of Super Sentai, you know, just maybe make it like a fan vote or we vote or something like that, because just so we can, you know, talk about stuff we actually want to talk about, because, you know, sometimes with Power Rangers it helps to kind of watch it in order because they do crossovers and stuff like that, but Super Sentai doesn't really do that as much. At least they didn't way back in the day. So so we'll see. I don't know, but yeah, go ahead and start us off.
Well, let's start off with Dan and Boy practicing pitching, which I was so excited. I was like, yes, baseball. This is going to be so good. And Mei watching, and they're like, you know, why are you guys so relaxed? And they're just like, no, don't worry. You know, we have Daijujin and everything's good. And so Mei then sees a girl named Satoko crying while running past them. And they're like, and Mei asks what was wrong. And she goes, there's a boy named Jiro who's being mean to me and all that. And you see Jiro like peering off in the corner like, hey, like, I swear I didn't do it. I didn't mean to. And Satoko was like, kicked her, called her a monkey. And everybody's like, why? That's so mean. And the boy's like, no. And he starts running off. But as he's leaving, he's like, you know, I do it because, you know, I like her and I just have a hard time admitting it to her. And I think it goes, that's the episode. Right. So Bandora gets mad at Lammy and Gryffindor for like flirting all the time, like around her, because I'm guessing she doesn't like love. And so she goes to Pleppercon with an idea for a Dora named Dora Pixie. And so the idea of Dora Pixie is to throw balls. It is a child.
Like love balls.
Love balls. And
And it goes down the throats of the children as
Right.
as it's a full blown pitch into
it is a
their
full blown
mouth.
pitch, like right to the mouth. They swallow it, and the first thing that they see, they become in love with it. So, they're doing all this, and they first, of course, it's for children and all that. So, they start doing it near Satoko, and like I would say by the end of it, like 12 people, like 12 kids were chasing after Satoko, like, and not like saying I love you, but also saying weird stuff like marry me.
Yeah, and then there was also people like chasing cars.
Oh yeah,
or inanimate objects.
Yeah, I say it wasn't just for people;
Yeah.
it was for inanimate objects. And so finally, the Zyurangers come, and Dora Pixie throws 2 balls into Dan and Boy's mouths. And so, while I believe they were trying to morph, they were trying to, power up. And before Dan and Boy could morph, they had balls in their mouths, and both looked at Mei and then started chasing her. And so they had to retreat because, there's no way. Like, we can't do this. And so they locked him. They locked him in a cage, which I was very weird upon, as I was like, okay, they just didn't want to chase us, so just lock them up. And so then the other 3 go back out, and then they try and fight again. And then Dora Pixie then throws another one, and it goes into Goush's mouth.
What?
and
then he falls in love with the bike.
Yeah, he falls in love with the bike. And so, oh man, it gets so good. And so I'm trying to.
Well, and then they basically. Well, then Mei finds the weakness, right? Well, the weakness. There was some sort of weakness, right?
The horn. It was the horn.
Yeah, the horn. And then they break the horn. The monster grows big. And then he bends down and spews out love juice onto like Mei and the kids.
Right. And they're like, love. Yeah. We love you, Dora Pixie. We love you.
And then they go into Goryujin and then basically fight off the monster, right? Because Bryce goes up out of nowhere because they can't make Daijujin because Mei is incapacitated, I guess.
Yeah.
And so then Bryce shows up and they form Goryujin. Yep.
And so finally, of course it ends with the kids and all that. And so Jiro is like, so he's like, I gotta tell you something. He hesitates. Satoko's like, just spit it out. Like, I know you like me, but I don't like you. And she runs off. And then, of course, Bae's like, she still likes you. And then, of course, the kid just runs after her. And that's the end of the episode. So really nothing really changed. Is that everybody just really likes Satoko.
Right.
But.
So this one was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible by any means, but I mean, it was all right. What'd you think of the episode?
I had a little bit of expectations because of the pitching, because of baseball, because I'm a sports guy. But as an episode as a whole, it was okay. Like, for normal Zyuranger episodes, like, it felt normal.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That just sounds weird. Like, it was normal.
Yeah, right. It wasn't anything like super weird or crazy or anything like that. Yeah. So, okay. So moving on now to episode 24. Hope springs a turtle.
Great title.
Boy becomes trapped in an endless run after he is hit by the motion manipulation abilities of Totpat and Bookback's Dora Monster. So the episode kind of starts off with like a Totpat and Bookback kind of like sneaking around Bandora's castle and stuff because they're like making a Dora monster kind of without the permission of Bandora, and so they've got this like turtle like sculpt. But
Oh yeah.
then they just start adding like random crap to it, like a traffic light or like a cannon, and just random stuff like that. And so yeah, and then they kind of unleash it onto the world or whatever because Boy is playing dodgeball with this kid that he just happens to know as per usual.
Can we take a minute to talk about this
Absolutely.
because you know how long, like we have no idea how long the Zyurangers have been. How long would it have taken, to develop these relationships? Because they like
to where they know them all on a first name basis.
like
They know every single one of these kids on a first name basis.
and they also have like flashbacks, which is even weirder.
Throughout yeah, 2 of these episodes have flashbacks to these relationships. And so with this one, Boy knows this kid because he was sick.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't really describe how he knows the kid. He describes that he was sick and then he got better, but he's still, it's like, how does he know this kid on such a personal level? And
on such short note,
and these are like grown adults. I mean, Boy, he kind of looks like he's like 6, right? But the rest are grown adults, and so it's just like, how do they know all of these kids on such a personal I'm 20, I'm an adult. I don't just walk up to a kid or run up to a kid and go, "Hey, Jimmy," or "Hey, Bobby," "Hey, Samuel," it's just like, what? Even if I know the kid, right? I can't even think of a kid that I just happen to know. But maybe like a friend's like brother or sister.
Right.
I don't just go running up,
just hey, what's your name?
Yeah. Where
Bobby?
I know their
Bobby? Yeah.
I know their entire life story. It's just like, what in the world? But anyway, so he's playing dodgeball with this random kid because it's Zyuranger. So then the monster sort shows up. What is the name? Let me look.
Dora Tortoise.
Dora Tortoise, yes. And so all the kids get kind of like blasted with this thing that makes them like constantly move.
Makes them throw
Yeah,
them specifically. It was them
like
throwing
this.
because they were playing dodgeball.
It's not like they're like constantly like running around or anything like Boy, but all they're doing is going like this, and then they all go to the hospital, and then the doctor says if they keep moving like this, they're gonna die. It's just like, what? The kid's just doing this, and then either way, if they were just like, if they were like completely going like crazy, like strap them down. It doesn't make any sense.
Like worst case scenario, eventually it'll die off, or sometimes it'd be like, you know what, we just gotta amputate, and it'd just be the little nub that just throws around, that might throw or something like that.
Yeah.
But
real quick, we do have Donnie Pearson in the chat.
Donnie,
what's going on, Donnie Pearson? It's great to see you today. And then he says, I had fun listening to the last night of the BBC Proms 2021, especially playing along in my homemade snare drum, Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance, March #1, Land of Hope and Glory.
I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you, Donnie Pearson. I have no idea what you said, but it sounds absolutely great. Thank you for sharing. Nice. I mean, Elgar's a character from Turbo, right? I think maybe that's what he was referring to. I don't know.
Maybe.
If you have some elaboration for that, Donnie Pearson, please let us know, because that sounds. I don't know what that is, but that sounds absolutely great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So then Boy also gets flashed. With the Dora Tortoise monster stoplight phase.
Yeah.
And so it sends him into a constant run. And then meanwhile, the Zyurangers kind of see what's going on. Like, all the kids are in the hospital. Like, oh no, they're gonna die. And Totpat, Bookback, and Dora Tortoise kind of emerge again, and the Zyurangers go after them. However, the Dan and Mei?
And no, I think it was
Dan and
Goushi. Yes.
Dan and Goushi. Okay.
What? Hang on. There was one part that also was that was funny for me was like the other Zyurangers' first appearance at Dora Tortoise, and like they're getting ready to fight him, and you just see Dan in the background just running through like, don't get hit by the light. Like, what is he going?
Yeah. But yeah, Goushi and Dan get trapped or stopped by the stoplight, so where they can't move. Although they're still able to talk, right? So they can still move their mouths.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, it was all three. It was Dan, Goushi, and Mei. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yes, because it was on. Because I think they were frozen, and then I think Dan walked by, or boy walked by. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Because it was Ghost, Dan, and Mei that were all.
Oh, okay. So he's just talking about like, sorry, back to Donnie Pearson. He's just talking about like a song that's used in a commencement ceremony or whatever, and he did a recreation of it.
Oh,
so that's pretty cool, Donnie Pearson. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they all get trapped, and Dora freaking Tortoise.
Yeah.
Gets Barza finds the weakness to Dora Tortoise, this monster that was just created today. Yeah. And he is somehow able to find the weakness to in his ancient text. You know, even though Totpat and Bookback literally just created this monster, but whatever.
But and here would be my kind of counter to that would be that, you know, the Dora Tortoise would have been made, but the modifications to
maybe
like the stoplight and, you know, the brass knuckles, which they never used.
Right. Yeah. But so yeah, there's this like thing, this like plant that
only Dan can, or no, not only boy can get. I keep
the flower of the peace,
Yes.
That only Dan can see because it can only be seen. Or
we keep doing it.
That only boy can see because it's only people who are under the spell can see it.
Right.
So he has to climb up this mountain full sprint. And Geki has to kind of go after Dora Tortoise. And so yeah, blah blah blah. Geki kind of, you know, gets his butt kicked, and then boy finally gets back, and then he's able to give the flowers to Dora Tortoise or whatever.
Yeah, Lily stood on top of the head, and started running in place.
Yeah, because I remember now, because because Geki goes into his mecha, and fights him alone. But then boy is running on top of him with the flowers.
Which I gotta point out, if he could just run in place, why hasn't he done that the entire time? Like, only that time at the part where it ends, where he just decides to start running in place. It's just like, hey, I could stop it just by running in place. Like,
yeah. So I guess the moral of the story is they defeat the monster, they play dodgeball, and live happily ever after. Okay, so Ian, what'd you think? What are your thoughts?
I thought it was just a wacky episode in general, but I really liked kind of the journey that Boy had. I really liked Boy's like focus of this episode, even though it was just him running around. I thought that was a really funny concept.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was really funny.
I mean, I believe I remember the episode in Mighty Morphin where it was like Trini running around.
Yeah.
And didn't it involve like a dream or something? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what happened in Mighty Morphin.
Right.
Because I remember the episode with Trini running around.
Right.
But I can't remember what the circumstances were.
I'm trying to.
I don't remember, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was okay. Kind of weird, kind of wacky, but still fairly. It was an okay episode nonetheless.
Yeah.
So, are you still looking up what happened in Mighty?
It looks like it's literally the same thing.
Oh,
It was the ray on Trini, and then she ran off, and apparently she came back with Zordon said that the flower could reverse its effects.
Oh, okay.
And he already told Trini
But she's
to go
the only
find
one that got hit with it, right?
No.
Oh.
No. It would be literally the same as.
Okay, so I
as it
don't
was
remember the
in
episode at
Sentai.
all then, except for the part where Trinity's running to the.
Yes.
Whatever. Okay. But yeah. So now we're going to be moving on to episode 25, Demons Dwell, and I believe you got this one, Ian.
Yeah, park where demons dwell. Bandora corrupts a new park statue with a Dora Monster that creates poison moths. Yes, you heard that right. I did not cut out there. Poison moths to hurt children, angering Goushi. So,
Yeah.
of course, this starts with a little kid and, good friends with Goushi, and so they unveil a new statue that was made by the kid's father, who later died to an illness. Okay. And so, they all liked it. And then in the night, I believe Bandora makes Dora Tarantula and puts the tarantula on the statue in the park. And so the next day.
Well, they switch out the statues. They're different statues.
Oh, are they different statues? Yeah. I missed that.
Yeah.
And so then the next day, it's at the same park, and children are just chasing around all these insects. And so they're like, and at first Ghost is like, hey, this is a positive thing. There's butterflies all around your father's statue. It's awesome. And then you hear a scream, and then it all fall. The kids start getting
all the
sick.
kids get poisoned.
Yes. And so then they were like, well, we need to destroy the statue. And the kids are like, no, we can't do this. And we can't do that because it was by our father and all that. And all of a sudden, I think Ghosh actually shoots it, and it turns into the tarantula.
Yeah.
And so they do their whole thing. They beat it. They go big, and I'm pretty sure they get webbed again. And then they have to ask, Right, come help us, please. This is the third straight episode. We needed help. And so they get there, and so Rai gets there and helps him out, and that's literally the entire episode. Nothing. I mean,
yeah. Well, we get another flashback.
Oh my god!
With the dad.
Yes, we do, and.
Yeah, where I guess Goushi was best friends with his dad and had time to go camping or whatever with him.
Yeah, and looking at freaking trees.
Yeah, it was so weird. It's just so bizarre. It's just they really feel the need to just force these characters in there. It's just, as if they've known each other the whole time. It's just just have the Zyurangers fight the monster and just have it be like that.
Right.
It's do we really need all this extra crap? It's just completely unnecessary. You know, it just doesn't even really make any sense.
Why can't you do it in the Power Rangers episode? Zack must overcome his fear of spiders. So why couldn't you have done that?
I don't know. Yeah, have it actually involve the characters instead of just some random people that we just met 2 seconds ago.
Yep.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Wow, that would have been interesting. Actually have the episode be about Goushi. I don't know. It's weird, but I think at this point that we
just gotta keep powering through.
Yeah. So I mean, what'd you think? Good, bad, okay?
It was kind of you know, worse than Zyuranger normal standards, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, just really just a whole lot of nothing.
This was
Like,
definitely, I think, the worst episode out of the pack.
We learned nothing.
Yeah. I think this was definitely the worst episode out of the 5 we're covering.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so now we're moving on to be careful of shaved ice, and man, is this an interesting one. This is an interesting one. I believe this is the Power Punks episode in Power Rangers. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is interesting because this is episode 26 of Zyuranger, and then episode 12 of Power. Yeah, so that was a fairly early episode of Power Rangers. But so yeah, basically, the villains kind of poison, or was it was Totpat kind of poisons the Rangers, the Zyurangers slushies or whatever.
Yeah.
Dan and Mei drink them, and then they turn evil.
Right.
And you know, some interesting things happen.
Oh yeah.
They beat up a bunch of bikers.
Yeah.
They go into this samurai area monk thing.
Yeah.
And then Dan kills a few people. It's not on camera, but it's just like, hey, I'm gonna kill you. He unsheathes the sword.
Right.
And then they go to, like, I don't know what that was, like a drug deal. And then Mei literally shoots them up.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just like, holy crap. Like, what the hell? Like, this is insane.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Dora Boogerman.
Say that. Boogeranen?
Yeah, something like that. It's Terratoad from Mighty Morphin. And let me look this up real quick. Is Terratoad who I think he is? No. For some reason I thought Terratoad was the one that that Bryan Cranston voiced. I don't know who that is. But yeah, for those who don't know, this is a kind of widely known fun fact, but Bryan Cranston actually voiced a monster in Power Rangers, or even he might have voiced more than one monster in Power Rangers. I don't know. But,
I can look that up.
Yeah. And then for those who don't know who Bryan Cranston is, he played Zordon in the 2017 movie. He's the star of Breaking Bad. He's the dad in Malcolm in the Middle. He's done quite a bit of stuff. But yeah, so basically, meanwhile, Geki, Goushi, and Boy are fighting off Dora Booger Nanan or whatever.
Boogeranen.
I'm gonna call him Booger Man.
That's fine. I really don't care.
And so Terratoad Booger Man is able to kind of consume Boy and Goushi, and then eventually Barza is able to find this another plant, or I guess this one was a root,
right?
That was able to heal or turn Dan and Mei back to normal after their murderous rampage. And then
here's what was the weird part. It was just like, here, drink this. And of course, I'm guessing it was the.
Yeah, it was like the juice from the root, and then it doesn't work.
It didn't work. And then they're just like, and then they start fighting each other, and then Dan hits Mei with the plants.
Yeah.
And it starts laughing, and then they're back to normal.
Yeah.
For some reason.
But then didn't Barza say that if you heard it scream or whatever,
it was his laughter.
Go to hell?
So
this was a different thing.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
But then freaking Dan, I keep forgetting. Now I'm trying to say Boy for Dan.
Yeah.
Dan and Mei join Geki. Geki gets eaten. But then they figure out his weakness is like was its face, but his face is actually on his neck. Anyway, then Dan sacrifices himself to give an opening for Mei to shoot it. Well, and no, but then Totpat. This didn't happen in Power Rangers. Totpat pushes Mei away, and then and then she misses.
No, she wasn't able to take the shot.
Yeah. I could swear this did not happen in Power Rangers. But and then they go to a forest, and then she sets up a trap, and then she shoots him.
Yep, and then it spits them all out.
Yeah, and then it spits them all out, and then Then did they have a Mega Sword battle? I don't know.
No.
No, they didn't. That's the end.
That's literally the end. They were like, all
trying to
right.
think of what happened in Power Punks. Let's see.
I forgot the end. The end was so good because they're like,
Rangers. The Terratoad is about to eat Kimberly, but she shoots. Yeah, so yeah, Kimberly just is able to make the shot. She doesn't miss or anything. So yeah, that's the end of the episode.
No, there's one.
What?
There's one
Right, yeah. So at the end of the episode, the Zyurangers are kind of walking around in their civilian forms, and then the biker gang that freaking Dan and Mei beat up are asking them to join them. Or
yeah,
whatever,
they're like, please take us in.
Yeah. And then that's the end of the episode. So I thought this one, I mean, it was kind of weird that they sent Dan and Mei on a murderous rampage, but otherwise I thought it was goofy enough to where it was still fun, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that I was able to have fun with this episode.
Oh yeah.
So what'd you think?
I mean, I as soon as I like saw, you know, what the whole plan was, I immediately went to Power Ranger Punks and all that. So I was like, oh okay. But I mean, episode as a whole, I mean, it was really weird just to see the guy eat all of them. Unless you're into that, I really don't care. But what?
I don't think you really listened to what you just said. You know, watching them eat them all, unless you're into that.
I mean, you can.
What, you know, whatever, man. Just
let's go on to the next episode.
Speaking of eating, so this episode is called "I Eat Mei" or whatever.
I want to eat
Ranger Wiki, but the fandom page calls it Mei on a silver platter.
Which,
but Tubi and the episode itself calls it
I want to eat Mei.
Yeah, I want to eat Mei.
Yeah.
Man, if this YouTube channel becomes super popular and they go back to like older videos, this is like the perfect time to take that out of context and put in like a compilation video of us saying I want to eat Mei.
Just out of context,
yeah.
or like put this as blackmail.
Do not make that video.
Please
do not
don't
clip this.
Please don't. Please don't.
I repeat, do not clip this.
So we'll start with Mei on a silver platter. When Bandora brings back an ancient flower-manipulating enemy on the Lithia Tribe, Mei must do what it takes to stop it, even at the cost of her life. So it starts off, of course, with a little kid selling flowers, and Meg wanted to buy some, and eventually, I'm guessing she made friends, and then she then meets him at a greenhouse when the kid's like, I want to be a florist.
Yeah, the kid that she's known all her life, yeah.
Correct. And so he shows Mei a plant that they are called Lycium? Lycium?
Something like that, yeah.
Lyciam. That's how it's spelled. And so Mei recognizes it because it's, I'm guessing she's recognized. I don't know, like, guess it's from her time. And so then they get distracted by a creature named Guzzler, of course, Dora Guzzler, and then he like spits him. He was like eating flowers. I'm guessing that's what. I guess. I don't know. and he got like spit back out, and then like those flowers that he spit out apparently grew teeth and were like biting.
Well, they were just like poisonous. Yeah,
they
were poisonous flowers. Yeah.
And so they were like trying to tell the kid to run and all that, and so they're like save the light like him or whatever, and so Dora Guzzler is doing it to a lot of people all around the city, and what's it? I'm trying to think about, because there's just a lot of flower eating and then spitting it back out.
Well, I mean, basically, they kind of learned that Mei, like the former princess of her tribe,
Yes.
sacrificed herself for this monster, which is why Mei said that she was willing to die to destroy it. I was like, okay, that's a little much. Like, don't you think like the flower monster is the one that pushes her over the edge?
Right.
But you know, I guess it kind of makes sense with her tribe's history. So she kind of makes this plot.
Yeah. So she was gonna do the sacrifice, and the rest of the Zyurangers realized it, and they were going to go and try and stop her. And so all of a sudden, Dora Guzzler finds Mei laying in the field, just waiting to be eaten, which is, you know, why the title is Mei on a silver platter, because I'm guessing if it bites down, it destroys the Guzzler, but also destroys Mei. And so as he was getting ready to eat, an arrow shot through like a bunch of flowers and right into the monster's mouth, and Mei jumps back up, and so they easily defeat him and all that, and that was basically it.
Wow, what a great episode!
It was just a.
This one was a little weird, yeah, and it wasn't really all too exciting either. No. So yeah, I mean,
like what else can you say about?
There's not really much to say about this episode besides it's an episode that happened and we had to watch it.
Yeah. Like nothing's. I mean, like it went more deeper into the history that was in Mei's tribe or in the Lithia Tribe.
Yeah.
But other than that, like nothing really. Like these 5 episodes really didn't really have a per se about a lot of kind of development into the character. It was just like, hey, we can.
Well, it's more development of the kids that we're never gonna see again.
Correct.
You know, and that's the problem with the kids. It's not even that there's kids every week. It's just the so much of the focus goes onto the kids that never appear again.
Right.
And so it's just like, what is the point of this? You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, that pretty much wraps up these 5 episodes of Zyuranger. Next week, we're getting more into some actual story-based stuff.
Thank goodness.
So that'll be nice. We're dealing. Dai Satan appears for the first time. He's been mentioned before, but now he's going to be fully appearing next week. And we're also dealing more with some of the Bryce stuff. So stay tuned next week. We've got some more exciting episodes. These 5 episodes were just kind of filler, but it looks like we're getting some more of the plot episodes next week. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps things up on this week's episode of the Retro Sentai Wrap Up. Thank you all so much for tuning in next week. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified of everything going on. We've got a show for almost everybody and more to come. Be sure to follow us on Facebook as well. Our Facebook page is Power Rangers Cosmic Protectors. We're going to be doing a lot more content on our Facebook page here soon. So be sure to follow us on Facebook to see everything that's going to be going onto there here soon as well. Once again, thank you all so much for watching the Retro Sentai Wrap Up. And remember, here at the Illuminerdi, we're always watching. Take care, everybody.